guys, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and welcome back to another video. I hope that everyone's having a great holiday season out there so far. And today we have a pretty interesting video. We're going to be taking a look at a leaked build of Windows 10, which includes a lot of new things, and I'm not going to be providing any download links to this, mainly because it's not officially available to the public yet. But if you want to get this, you can go and search around for it, and I'm sure that you'll be able to find a download link for it. But yeah, this build, it added a lot of new things. As you can probably tell, the whole desktop looks kind of different, especially on the bottom. The whole taskbar is now just a solid black color, and you can't change that, at least as far as I can tell in this build. And it actually looks pretty nice. It kind of blends in well. I mean, I kind of like like how Windows 8 does it now, where it's like sort of transparent on the bottom. But this is still in development by Microsoft, so they I mean, all these features, they might change them, they might keep them. But the main thing that we're going to be focusing on today is the addition of Cortana in Windows 10. Now, this has been a rumor for quite some time now, and it is finally in this build, as you can see from this little search the web and Windows sort of widget type thing here. This is the Cortana user interface, and it's very slow and laggy, but it does work. You do have to be signed in with a Microsoft account. If you ever get this build working, you do have to be signed in. And yeah, it works just like you would expect Cortana to work on the Windows Phone operating system. The only problem is that it doesn't work all the time, and I'm guessing it's because this is still not released to the public yet, so all of those like servers or whatnot might not be 100% working yet, as this is still just being tested internally by Microsoft. But the thing that I'm going to be giving you a sort of little demo here, and so let's just get started with that. So we'll just I think what we have to do is just click on this little microphone button here, and we'll say, what's the weather like in Redmond, Washington? And it like also kind of picked up, and I'll say what, but see, so yeah, so it did work, but it also picked up, and I'll say, what's the weather like in Redmond, Washington? But it does work. There's no like voice feedback yet, which I believe it does do that on the Windows Phone operating system. And yeah, it says here's the current weather, and in Redmond, Washington, and it shows probably the same thing it would show on Windows Phone. The only weird thing is, at the end of every single one of its search queries, it has this thing web and then a backslash. I don't really know what that's about, but we can also do things, let's say set an alarm for 7 o'clock a.m. Okay, so it says, I'm sorry, I can't do that for you right now. Okay, so here we get this little pop-up notification. It says, how well do you feel Cortana understands what you say when you use your voice? So we'll click that. I think this is a feedback thing, maybe? Yeah, this is a Windows feedback thing, which wouldn't be present in the final build of this. This is just something for people that are testing this build to provide feedback to Microsoft to tell them how well that Cortana works. And modern UI apps, as you can probably tell just from the previous Windows technical preview build, they can be put into Windows. They do have this solid black title bar. I'm not sure if they had that before, but I mean, yeah, you can again make them full screen if you want. And I actually really like how Windows 10 is turning out so far. But anyway, we'll just close that. So that's basically Cortana. I'll go in here again, and we can try, something else. I just don't really know what else to ask it. We can say, like, remind me to make a video tomorrow.
Sure. At what time?
10 o'clock a.m.
All right. I'll remind you to make a video at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yes.
Great. I'll remind you. You can see it in the notebook anytime.
Okay, so you can see that there actually worked. So I said, remind me to make a video tomorrow, and it asked me what time, and then in the voice feedback, I thought it wasn't going to work, and it actually worked this time. So I guess they have some areas of the voice feedback, working. So I mean, I just don't really know, what else to ask it, because I've never used like Cortana. I wonder if we can ask it to open apps. So let's say open Internet Explorer. Okay, so again she says, sorry, I can't do this for you. How about run Internet Explorer? Okay, something's not right. Try it in a little bit. So let's try to ask and see if it can take notes. So we'll say, take note, go to the store soon. Okay, and it can't do that either. We'll say, show me a map of Washington, D.C. Okay, maybe it just stopped working for some reason. Again, I don't really expect any like all of this to work properly. I mean, I've heard some people that have also made videos about this build, and they've talked about like it doesn't even work for them. So again, it may work sometimes. You see, like I've asked it to open up. Like if you click here, it's supposed to open up, but it just takes a long time to do that. So I guess that's something that they're still tweaking. And you can like press this microphone. Eventually it'll just like freeze the whole screen for a minute and then pop up. It's just really slow. Like, see, if I bring up the start menu here, and then like you can see like it kind of flashes the screen and then it pops up. So we'll say, show me a map of Washington, D.C. Okay, so it actually understood what I said that time, and now it's apparently opening up just a Bing search for show me a map of Washington, D.C. And it also okay, so this opens up whenever you open up Internet Explorer. In this build of Windows, it says welcome to the latest Internet Explorer. I think this is Internet Explorer 11. I don't know if that version is already out yet, but it's here. There's also this thing up here, send a frown or send a smile. I don't know what that does. Oh, this is to report website problems. Okay, that's kind of an interesting way of doing that. So we'll just get out of that. But yeah, so it is able to figure out, what I said, and it just did like a Bing search for that. So, but yeah, so here we are on Bing doing a Bing search. So it got that right, but it's normally just supposed to bring it up in the same UI that it has here. I guess they haven't tweaked that yet. We've done weather. We'll say, is American Airlines Flight 76 on time? Okay, so that worked. So it like actually brought up that AA Flight 76 status in the same UI like it's supposed to. And it also tells you where it got it from. You can see that it departed at 9:53 a.m. from LAX, and it's heading. It should be getting in around 5:32 p.m. To Gate B and Gate B7 in Washington. So that works, and you can also always have the option to search on the web. We can also do music. I don't think there's any music on this, like virtual machine right now, but we'll just say play music.
Sure, playing your music.
Okay, so it said playing your music, and it's just going to open up Windows Media Player. So that does work, and that would normally, if you had Windows Media Player configured, it should work. We'll do a little bit more. The app commands apparently don't work. I wonder if we can use like a modern UI apps, because I think it was trying to open up the non-modern UI Internet Explorer. So open the Windows Store. And it just does a Bing search again. So apparently that's not going to work either. But yeah, I mean, I don't really want to go too in-depth on this. You know, you can, I mean, it's basically the same thing that's on the Windows Phone 8.1, just blown up on a desktop user interface. It's basically what it is. And, you know, they still have to tweak some things. It doesn't really work properly yet. But if you don't even want to use this, and if this is going to, like, annoy you, you can actually turn it off. You just go in to the search, and then you click on disabled, and then it'll just go away. And you can also go in here and hit on show search icon, and now it'll just have the old search icon like it did before in the Windows Technical Preview. And if you hit that, then it'll just bring up Cortana. So I actually kind of like that better, and this actually seems to work a little bit faster than the box method. For some reason that doesn't work. I guess that's something they still have to tweak, and I'm probably going to say that a lot in this video, because they do have a lot to, you know, still fix. Because this build, I mean, I believe this is supposed to be coming out in mid January, early February. So this is just kind of like an early sneak preview sort of. But they have changed, you know, besides just changing how the taskbar looks and adding Cortana, they've added a few other things too. If we open up the start menu here, you'll see that it looks black. I'm sure you can change that. I think actually let's just try to go into the settings right now. I mean, not this, yeah, the personalize. And I just wonder if we can change the way that this looks and the color. Go, okay, so good. So you can change it. I was just on the automatic color. So we can change it to like whatever color you want, and also change the color intensity. So we'll go to this blue here, because I think that looks pretty nice. And we'll save changes. And so one thing that I do want to point out is, notice how when you have Windows open, when you have like inactive Windows, notice how this looks. There's just like this little sleek bar under the icon in the taskbar, and that's also something they've done to make it so there's like less clutter in the taskbar, sort of. That's just something they've done here. So like if you were to have like let's say that open, and Internet Explorer and the Windows Store, and we'll go into the start menu, and we'll just minimize that for now. We'll go into the start menu and open up the Skype app and the Windows feedback and the calendar and all this. So we'll say like you have a bunch of apps open on your computer. I'll just bring this over here. Let's like arrange all these. So when you have everything minimized, you'll see it just, you know, looks like this. For some reason the Skype app is being weird. We'll just close that. And the store didn't even open. There we go. So let's minimize that. So you can see how like much more sleek it looks, kind of, instead of having like those like sort of arrow highlight things, which they were kind of trying to get rid of arrow, and which, you know, that's kind of what they're doing here. It's kind of getting, and for some reason the store keeps closing, but you can see this is how an active window looks, and these are how inactive windows look in the taskbar, basically. So that's what that is. We can also go back here to the start menu. They've added some new apps. Also, we have a beta version of the Windows Store, which changed to this gray color, I'm guessing because it's in beta. So but I don't think this actually works because it's in beta, so the servers aren't like 100% working yet. But we'll have this load in the background, and actually it might. Let's see if it opens up here. Yeah, so here it says the server stumbled. We all have bad days, and that's because, again, that they probably don't have the servers up for that yet. The Windows feedback, this is in every beta version of Windows that they have, just so you can give your feedback on it. And there's actually, I think there was a few. We also have this contact support thing, and this is this new way of, like, I guess, getting support for just, you know, Windows. I mean, I guess that's what it's kind of doing. It's just loading here. I'm not sure if this will work either. We'll just have it in the background here. And like once I said that last time, it started to work. So while that's loading, we have alarms, calculator. I think these apps are new. They look a little bit more modern. Like this calculator app here. See, it looks a little bit more modern. You know, a little bit nicer, sort of. I'm guessing that this contact support thing isn't going to work. But it's just basically a way of like getting support. You can request a support call, basically. That's kind of what that does. We also have a beta version of the camera app, which isn't going to work because I don't have a camera connected to this computer. This would be something, obviously, for if you were using this on like a Microsoft Surface or another tablet or something like that. It's just going to do nothing because I don't have a camera connected. So we'll go back in here. The Insider Hub. This is probably not going to be in the final build because this is just for Windows Insiders, for people in the Windows Insider program. These builds would get seeded to them, and I guess this app would be, allowing you to get updates or something like that. But I don't have I'm not signed into my Windows Insider account in this, so that's kind of why that's not really working. Let's see what else we have. Get started. I think this is new. I'm not sure, but actually I think this is a new app. This is kind of like, if you remember in Windows Vista and in Windows 7, they had that like app that would come up the very first time that you turned on your PC for the first time. They had that thing that would come up and tell you the new features of Windows and stuff. That's kind of what this is. I guess they would have this pop up like the first time that you update to Windows 10, or like when you buy a new computer that has a Windows 10. But none of it works because I guess they don't have the servers. They still have to work on it, but you can see in here, it's going to basically give you sort of tips in here about how to use certain things. So it is going to tell you how to pin items to the taskbar. Everything just says coming soon. Even if we go into search, it tells you how to search for stuff. It says coming soon under Cortana. They also have the same icons used over and over again. See, this one was used in the start a few times, and it was used in the search thing. So they probably have to make some new icons or something, because they got the same one here. Apps tells you how to explore the Windows Store. Take your apps with you if you're using different devices. Switch between apps. Again, everything says coming soon. I can't really demo any of this. We also have personalization, the lock screen, input, telling you different ways of inputting and updates and feedback. You can also set when you get new builds. This probably wouldn't be in the final build of Windows. This option here. Actually, what I'm guessing is this is this whole thing right here, updates and feedback, that is intended for when this officially comes out, or when this officially rolls out in January, February time frame. And that's when you can view this. But when it comes out to the public, when officially when Windows 10 comes out, they're probably not going to have this entire category here, because you wouldn't really be giving feedback for an operating system that's already released. But yeah, that's what that app is. I also like the new sort of animations. I'm not really sure if these are new to Windows 10, but it just kind of looks cool. When you maximize and sort of restore a window, it kind of pops out at you. It's kind of cool. And also minimizing to the taskbar. I believe I actually think it didn't minimize with this animation before, and now it's back. So that's something that they changed. As open up the Windows Store backs, and of course closing apps, kind of similar. So that's that there. We have OneDrive. I think all these apps. We have two different photo apps. I think this Photos app is the new one. We can go into here. They don't really distinguish between it. And this would just pull all of your photos from your OneDrive, and you would be able to view them here, view your albums, and ew, what is this? Thank you for helping improve photo analysis. We'll say pick a game. I don't really know what this is actually. But I don't have any photos on this like OneDrive account, because I just made a whole separate Microsoft Outlook account just for this VM. So apparently it just crashed. Say feedback games. Okay, so it's gonna. What's your alias? If you enter potential prizes, please enter your alias. We'll say no thanks for now. So you can pick games and give feedback. That's kind of interesting. We'll do technical scoring. Sure, I agree. I don't think there's any. I will just do pictures. Are there any sample pictures on here? I don't think there's any sample pictures. Yeah, I don't think there's any sample pictures, so yeah, we're not really going to be able to demo that, but that's basically what that is. The new Photos app. Of course, that would probably be, more refined when it comes out. Again, Windows feedback. There's this Xbox app. I don't know if it's here. Let me check in if on Windows 8. Do we have an Xbox app on Windows 8? Yeah. Okay. So this is not on Windows 8 right now. This Xbox app. It's called Games. I just checked on my host Windows 8 machine. But yeah, there's this Xbox app. So there's been people that have kind of been starting rumors saying, oh, they're gonna make it so you can play Xbox games on your PC, which would actually be pretty cool. But I'm thinking that it's just gonna be able to make it so you can buy Xbox games, from your PC, and then it would auto download them to your Xbox console, and you can play them on your Xbox. They may eventually let you play Xbox games on your PC, but I don't really know, how long that would be. They may do something like that, but that is a pretty cool idea. We can sign in. I wonder if it'll just sign into the same account that I'm logged onto this machine with, and we can kind of see how this beta user interface looks. Okay, so I just signed in with my Windows Live Dummy account, so we're gonna let that load here. And okay, sign up for an account at Xbox.com. Okay, so I just made an account on Xbox.com to purposely sign into this, and so we're gonna just let that load here. Hopefully it'll work. I'm not sure if they have this working yet. And oh yeah, it actually does. Meet the Xbox app. We're still working on it, but we couldn't wait to give you a sneak peek. We update regularly, so keep checking back to see what's changed. So we have this awesome username that whenever you make a new Xbox account, it gives you some stupid username that you can change one time for free. But yeah, so there's that. So this is basically where you would view your profile and everything. And you can choose to appear online to your friends, and you can set your gamer pick and customize your avatar. All these features, I think they're gonna say coming soon, and this button is kind of broken there. Appear online, okay, it's coming soon. So I think everything in here is just gonna say coming soon. So you can choose to edit gamer tag or enter a gamer tag, and you can see if it'll find me, because I used to have an Xbox account. And okay, look at that! It actually found my old Xbox account, so that's pretty nice, and it tells all this great information about me and everything. And I think all these are gonna be broken too, so we can't do that. We can view your achievements. You can see all these games I've played. Under following, you can see who we're following. Game clips. Yeah, all that stuff. So they actually have part of the functionality here working. We can view your direct messages and the settings. You can enable this live tile, I guess, and get notified when favorite friends come online. We'll just check that. And we also have a link to the store here, which also kind of makes people believe that, hey, they're gonna make it so you can buy games here, or so you can play games on your PC. But again, I just kind of think, at least for now, they're just gonna make it so you can buy Xbox games and play them on your console. But eventually it might lead to that, but it does bring you to the games section of the Windows Store, and some of these are Xbox games, so that is pretty cool. But yeah, that is the Xbox app. So we'll just close out of that. Well, actually, we'll see what this is up here. Okay, so this is where you can view your messages and a refresh button. So that's basically what that is. We'll just minimize or restore that window. We'll just close out of that. And here's me logged into it on Internet Explorer. We'll see what else. I don't think we have much more. We have the Xbox. Maintenance is empty. Windows accessories is all the basic stuff that we had before. Ease of access is all still here. Windows system, that's also all still here. I mean, they have changed some like minor UI elements, but I mean, besides that, I think that's about it. Alright, so just a few brief things that I want to mention before that the video ends off. I kind of forgot to mention these things. I actually want to talk about the Remind Me app, and basically what this does is, earlier in the video I asked Cortana to remind me to make a video tomorrow, and it's in this application where all of those reminders would show up. And there's actually this new little notification here that says let Remind Me run in the background, and this is basically not really for desktop PCs, but sort of for like a more tablet, you know, type of device that you want to be very conservative on your battery. And this basically allows you to choose if you want this to run in the background or not. And if you you know, click allow, then it'll probably keep track of all of your reminders and everything. And if you hit don't allow, it's probably not going to use that feature. I'm not really sure. This is just something new. I haven't noticed this in the previous build of Windows 10. So we'll just say allow, and then that just you know, goes away. And this is what the Remind Me application looks like. And you see that this is my reminder to make a video on on December 17th, 2014 at 10 a.m. And if we go in here, we can sort of like edit it, like, you know, add like an address if you want to, and, you know, change the time around. Actually, I don't think we can do that here, but we can remind me what. Okay, so this is actually useful. You like put in your home address in here, and then say like when you arrive there you want to be reminded, or when you depart from there, then it will you know, remind you about that. So, you know, that's kind of what this is for. Again, something not really for like a desktop PC you're gonna have on your desk, but more for like a tablet. That's basically the Remind Me application. There's not really much to say about it. You can also create different reminders from here. You don't have to ask Cortana. Now, I also mentioned that, actually I'm not even sure if I mentioned this, but the new settings, the modern UI settings app is completely redesigned, and it actually looks pretty nice. You'll see it says Windows isn't activated. I don't think I activated this build yet. But yeah, this is, you know, a very simple way of viewing all of your settings. They're basically trying to modernize the Windows control panel, because the control panel in here in Windows 10 looks exactly the same as the control panel in Windows 7 and probably even Windows Vista. They haven't really changed the overall design of the standard Windows control panel for those like 3 or 4 Windows versions, but this is the first time they've like actually started to completely redesign it. Probably one of the best parts is the window. All the content in the window actually resizes if you like resize the window. So if you have it maximized like this, and you'll see that, you know, it looks pretty similar to what I had before here. But if we start kind of changing the size of the window, you'll see it kind of moves all that content into a list view. And this would be useful for a small display. Like if you wanted to have this up while you were multitasking doing something else, you can, you know, change all your settings. And also arrow snap still works, by the way. And you know, you could view all of them here in this, you know, like little small window, and that is pretty useful. And you can also, just like the standard Windows control panel, you can search for something. So if we want to search for like display, it's actually just going to bring, and you see my reminder for make a video came up. Actually, this is kind of useful. This is what that interface looks like for an incoming reminder. It'll just, you know, slide in kind of like that. But apparently the search function in here just brings up the standard Windows 8 search or the Windows 10 search. So if you want to search for like, let's say narrator, and you hit enter, it just does a standard search in the settings for narrator. So not really sure if they're going to make it like that in the final version of Windows 10. I think it would honestly look better if they just, like, you know, brought all your search results in the same window, but that might be something that they're still working on. because again, this isn't fully released yet. But one thing I do want to focus on is Windows Update, as they've actually made this UI right here the main, or actually the only way to get Windows updates. If you go into the standard Windows Update in the classic, or so-called classic Windows control panel, it's just going to basically tell you this UI is depreciated. To get updates, go to Settings, Update and Recovery, Windows Update. So they're basically phasing out this whole Windows Update interface in the Windows control panel. And that might bother some people, but I think that now you can have these modern UI apps in a window instead of full screen. It will probably be a lot easier to get updates from here, because this interface honestly looks a lot nicer and more polished than this like 3-year-old interface. Looks kind of the same as the Windows 7 interface, honestly. But this also brought up rumors that they're going to start phasing out this classic control panel, and that could be something they decide to do. I don't really know at this point. All we know is Windows Update isn't going to be in the final version of Windows 10, unless they suddenly decide to bring it back or something, which they might do. That those kind of things happen in the development process. So yeah, that's basically the big thing about Windows Update. And you're still gonna be able to get updates for your computer, obviously. Like, it's not gonna change any way you get updates. It might actually be better from this interface, because you don't have to go digging around in these settings, and they might even, since it's a modern UI app, make it just like every time there's a new update, it'll just like slide in with a Windows 8 style notification and say you have updates for your computer. Do you want to install? And you can click that, and then it'll bring you to there. And you can't really do that with the classic control panel, at least right now. And I think that's basically it. I don't really know if there's that much more to talk about. I think I've mentioned most of the major changes. They've added a few basic things, like a few minor things, but yeah, I think I've covered just about everything in this video, and I think that's gonna wrap it up for the Windows 10. This is build 9901, I believe. Sort of first look. Again, this is coming out in mid-January, early February of next year. This is basically like a early sneak peek, kind of, and that's kind of what I just wanted to give you guys today. And yeah, so does this? I just want to kind of have your guys' opinion on this. Like, does this change your view of Windows 10? Like, will you upgrade to it now, or like will you buy it because it may be a free upgrade, it may not when it comes out? But will this change your perspective on this operating system just by this these few new features being added? Definitely sure to let me know down in the comments, and if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you have a great holiday season, and I will see you in the next video.